Hi, I'm Mike with House on the Mend, and in this video we're going to transform our dark basement pantry from this to this, to this, complete with motion sensing light switch. So let's get started.
House on the Mend.
So after a late summer of working on our backyard, building a chicken coop, assembling some gazebos, and getting a swing set put in, we are finally ready on a nice snowy day to come down back to the basement and get back to work building out our basement. And what better time than to work on our pantry. Now, it is so dark in here that when we come and go daily for supplies out of here, this is what it looks like without any of the lighting that I have set up. Now, back here we have all of our paper materials. I had to make some room for the ladder, but we also have toilet paper and things that go back here. We have food items here. There is a long-term food storage as well as consumables, juices and nuts and coffee creamers and such. And we have batteries over here, and we come down here and it's just we're pulling out our phones or a flashlight. We need this desperately to have more light so we can come and go. So I'm going to do something very similar to what we did over on our first basement episode, which was working on the hallway lighting. I have a board that you probably can hardly see even with the lighting set up right here that I'm going to attach to the concrete wall, and we're going to do the same thing with 2x4s cut in half coming across this way so that we can then put in lights and sheetrock up on the ceiling. This is our stairwell right here, so I'm going to insulate it with rock wool and then I'm going to sheetrock it as well. We are not going to insulate nor do any finish work for now on the concrete wall because it's a perpetual about 64 degrees down in our basement right now. And I want to keep this as cold storage because, as you know, if you can keep it right around that temperature range, all your food lasts longer, especially our buckets of sealed food storage. Eventually, I think it would be nice to have some sort of finishing touch here, maybe a skim layer of plaster and some paint, just something. But I really want to take advantage of the cool coming from right outside this concrete basement wall, which is the front of our house. Now, the first thing I want to do is climb up on this ladder. As you can see right here, we have a little bit of overhang from the 12-foot 2x4 that I have set up. I want to cut that back to about right here so that when I extend that framing across this wall, then I can also lean it on here and start mounting in the same manner we're going to do. Well, I'm using my Lithely impact wrench that I've put this really cool 1/4 inch attachment on here to temporarily get the board from up there right here so I can mark where all the studs are. Now I am marking both sides of the stud, and the reason for that is when it comes time to put the sheetrock on, I want to make sure that I put the cross members in such a way that I'll be easily able to butt up both pieces of sheetrock together and be able to screw those in with sheetrock screws rather than having this joint just floating. So after making those markings, I've turned this stud into basically a storyboard. So I know on the other side of the wall where the stairway is, where that corresponding stud is going to be, we will attach the cross member against that stud on this side and mount the stud underneath this one right here. And then on these bigger ones, These are going to represent a joint where we have two pieces of sheetrock terminating, and I'm going to make a full length 2x4 going across this way so that it's really easy to put screws in back here and we're not splitting the sheetrock right at the edge. All right, I've got the laser line just kissing the bottom of our stud. It's going to give us, of course, the same marking over here where we'll put the top of the cross members to that line. That'll give a little bit of clearance off of this. This is the fresh air intake for our HVAC system. So I have preset just a little ways in some of our ram set nails, and I'm going to shoot these first couple right here with this gun since I can do it single-handed. There we go. All right, I've switched over to the two-handed ram set that you strike on the back with a hammer because it's a lot less painful for my 50-plus-year-old joints. Well, I pre-drilled into the concrete so that I can install some 3-inch Tapcons. These nails are holding really good. They really drove into there pretty heavy, but they're excellent for shear strength. I want to also keep everything sucked tightly to the wall since we're going to be hanging so much from this stud. Since this span is a little over 5 feet long, I have taken 12-foot 2x4s. I cut them to the proper size on the chop saw. Then I split them in half, most of them, on the table saw. Then I pre-drilled and with my impact wrench set screws. These are GRK 2.5-inch structural screws. And we are ready to start putting our spans across here that are going to hold the sheetrock eventually. I got the laser line set up, as you can probably see, and I'm going right below that line over here. Here are the full-size 2x4s for every place where we're going to have two pieces of sheetrock meet. Boxes are in for the light switch and 3 lights in here. We're going to put the same LED lights as we did in the hallway. I bought them in bulk and they work great. For this project, I'm trying out the ManRam Drywall outlet box tracer. So this piece here, even if you have wiring, can go right around the wiring in the outlet box, just like that. Then you put your drywall up and it pierces through this sharp point. And that allows you to take this tracer and perfectly trace around your outlet cover box. Then you can either cut it, or if you have a rotary tool, you can cut it in place. And as you can see on our ceiling, I already have several of them installed where the lights are going to go. Well, unless I wanted to remove all of this shelving and the product on it for just 3 pieces, my drywall hoist won't fit in here, sadly, so I'm just going to have to do it by hand. I have marked and cut these down to the 5-foot span, so they'll be lighter than a standard piece of drywall, and I'm hoping I won't have too much trouble. Let's set it in place up here and pierce it for the outlet box. There it goes. Pretty clean mark on the back. Not so much on the front, but this is all getting cut away anyway. So I can tear that away and put our tracer on. There we go. I've temporarily screwed a board to these studs so that I can take this piece of sheetrock, set it up there, and have that hold it for me while I push up the other side and get a few screws in. The first coat is dried and sanded, and now I'm going back over everywhere where screw holes have sunken in or other things have settled, putting one final touch on everything. Then I'll sand it once more and it'll be time for paint. Well, 2 coats of pure white paint and primer has already made this room appear brighter to me, and we haven't even installed the lights yet. Now, personally, because I'm a terrible painter, I do not like cutting in drywall with a brush around edges like where this concrete meets the drywall if I'm not using any kind of texture, because I can tell the difference between a brush stroke and a roller stroke. So instead, what I like to do is trim out those areas. As you can see up here, I just rolled right to a certain spot. I did the same up on top, and then this perimeter of MDF trim I will hand paint, and the differences between a roll and a brush stroke actually accent the room and make it look better, in my personal opinion. So the next thing we're going to do is start putting in a top piece of trim, a bottom baseboard, and then we're going to build up some trim to cover up these seams. Now, I like to use construction adhesive, especially on these ceiling pieces of trim, because the little nails don't always hold that well, and the construction adhesive will keep it from sagging over time and starting to peel the eventual caulk line and all that. I really like this full-size Ridgid one. This one can handle both the 28-ounce tubes and then the much smaller, I think, what are they, 10-ounce tubes that you buy. This one is meant for rough construction. It doesn't have a lot of finesse, but it does have this great little attachment here. So if you're wanting to lay a bead down studs, say if you're putting in some sort of wood laminate wall, or if you are up and you are laying down on joists for a subfloor to go down, this little tool makes it really easy to kind of one-handed put a bead dead center in that stud or joist. The one thing I will say about this one is there's no finesse. You wouldn't want to be doing fine detail work around a kitchen sink or something like that with a tube of caulk. It's kind of like writing a holiday greeting card with a shotgun. It's just no finesse at all. So for those smaller little detailed areas, a smaller one like this that's got adjustable delivery is really nice for more fine work. Well, that's definitely going to take 2 coats. Well, it is so nice to be able to come down here with your hands full of groceries and not have to worry about A, the darkness, or B, hitting the light switch. This project turned out exactly how I wanted it, making this very functional space way more user-friendly any time of the day down in our dark basement. So if you found this video helpful, will you please give it a thumbs up? It's really helpful to the algorithms to start suggesting the video to more viewers like you. Also, please consider subscribing. I'm working really hard to put out good quality detailed content. There's a lot more videos to come, including a couple tool reviews coming up as well. It's free. All you have to do is log in on your YouTube or your Rumble account and hit subscribe or follow. It's very helpful to the channel. I'm going to leave links for practically every tool I used, a lot of the certain things that are adorning this room, like the LEDs and the light switches. Full disclosure, most of those will be Amazon affiliate links, so if you click on them and end up making a purchase, it won't cost you any money, but I do get a small reward at the end of the month. Until next time, thank you for watching. Hi. Do you want to come be in the video? Hi, baby girl. Yeah. Hi. I'm recording a video, and you're actually not helpful. Yeah, not helpful. How dare you? All right, get down. Come on.